Republican U.S. Senator says COVID-19 vaccine may cause AIDS. GOP Senator Ron Johnson recently appeared in an interview with anti-vaccine lawyer Todd Callender for a video posted to right-wing social media platform Rumble. Callender alleged that the COVID-19 vaccines cause AIDS. Callender said, quote, "The way to approach this is from a criminal point of view because that's what has happened. And until we start holding people accountable, Dr. Anthony Fauci, number one, you're going to see people still falling out, still getting sick. You've got more than 100 doctors here, all of whom will tell you that these shots cause vaccine-induced AIDS. They purposely gave people AIDS. They knew this," unquote. Johnson responded that it's possible the allegations are true, but the anti-vaccine activists need to wait for public opinion to be on their side before criminally charging health officials. Watch this.
The way to approach this is from a criminal point of view, because that's what has happened. And until we start holding people accountable, Fauci, number one, you're going to see people still falling out, still getting sick. You've got more than 100 doctors here, all of whom will tell you that these shots caused vaccine-induced AIDS. They purposefully gave people AIDS, right? They knew this. The FDA, 2 weeks prior to their emergency use authorization license, had an internal review, an internal audit function that had the infamous page 16. They knew all of this, and yet they licensed these shots anyway. And then you have the trickery with interchangeable or not, and is it a legally distinct thing or not? This is criminal intent. And until we address this as being that, we're stuck. We're not going to get over this.
So let me challenge you there.
Please.
That's way down the road. You got to do one
Perhaps.
step at a time. I mean, you got to do one step at a time. Everything you say may be true, okay? But right now, the public views the vaccines as largely safe and effective, that vaccine injuries are rare and mild. That is the narrative. That's what the vast majority of the public accepts. So until we get a larger percentage of the population with their eyes open to, whoa, these vaccine injuries are real. Why? You got to do that step by step. You can't leap to crimes against humanity. You can't leap to another Nuremberg trial.
Just
right? God, the level of stupidity.
Far too much.
Oh, you can tell the people didn't go to science class at all.
But that's not how math works. Like, I don't understand. I'm just.
What is it? 60 million people have gotten the vaccine in.
More than that. Like
in the U.S.
Yeah, 180.
Yeah.
So 80 million people,
theoretically, he's saying we know the incubation time for AIDS is not like 6 months or 9 months. I mean, if people were getting AIDS, we would know about it. It's the fact that this even gets attention when it's not factual is the part that just makes me crazy. I've been living with AIDS for 30 years. I know there's a difference between getting a shot and what those reactions are going to be like. Mm-hmm. This is just crazy.
But you just said the important word, which is facts. Mm-hmm. Facts don't matter anymore, everyone. We know this now, right? This is the same facts that tell you that your teacher asking and talking about their sexuality magically turns your child into a queer person. Like, there is no more facts anymore. We are facing a pandemic of idiocity, to be very honest, right? The problem is that it's not just ground level. It's our officials, it's everyone else, which is, we can't emphasize it enough. This is why it's important to vote. This is why it's very important.
Ignorance is more communicable than HIV.
Oh, yes.
Right.
I bet Rumble is
how do you address this? Because the truth doesn't work. So what is the platform, or how do we get through? Because this is what they've been doing for years, is all these lies, new facts, how do we break through that? Because it's not, like I said, you show them the results and they don't believe it and say it's fake news.
Well, the problem is that they live in an echo chamber. That's the problem, right? And I have family members that are in the echo chamber, the QAnon echo chamber and all of that. And it's basically like a ball bouncing off a wall, right? Like, they're not receptive. And part of the problem is that I don't want to say that it's impossible now, but we have, with our digital world, we've built these cocoons, and it's going to become harder and harder and harder. So all you can do is just keep putting out your truth, basically. That's all you can do at this
And
point.
a lot of it is about algorithms, because a lot of these social media know what you follow.
Oh, yes.
So you're seeing only things that you believe in, which reinforces the lie. You know, I don't know how you fix that.
I mean, I think another key thing that'll help change some of this is education, right? Which is why they're trying so hard to stop some of these conversations in school before it even starts. Because as unfortunately that community is aging out and getting older and passing away, the new generation who's being educated to think differently and process and ask questions will be the change. So the only way that they can even try to do that is to, while they're still here, is to stop the people coming up behind them from having the access and the resources and the thought process to ask those questions. So I think that's why we're seeing so much focus on schools and education, because that's how we're gonna make that change. So they need to stop that.
Educate the masses. Please, for the love of God, educate the masses.
Yeah. I mean, one of these guys is in the Congress,
Yes.
which has never been mistaken for a Mensa meeting, right?
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire